Hello, my name is Dom Fisher, and I've been featured in all of these comic books. Here I am, right there. That's me. That's me.
Where did you first see yourself? How did you know that it was you?
It was an issue. It was issue 73 of X Factor. I was at a show, and I was in a crowd of people, and suddenly these super people were on stage, and I was panicked, like very visually panicked. And I remember thinking, like when I was looking at this comic, that that's how I would have reacted in that situation. I would have been very scared. And then after I noticed that we shared the same mannerisms, that I looked very similar to this person. It was crazy to see yourself in a comic. And it took me a while, but I came to terms with that, that was myself. And after I accepted that that was me that I was seeing in the artwork, memories started flooding back. And then I kind of became obsessed. And I started going to comic book shops and flipping through books. And at first I couldn't really find anything, because there aren't actually a lot of crowds in comics. That's normally where I'm featured, is like a crowd scene. But then I started finding more myself, and now I have this huge collection that I'm very proud of just appearances of myself. I'm all the way down here with the brown hair and the suit right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you look like in these comics? Is there any variation?
Sometimes there's variation. Sometimes I'll wear glasses. Sometimes my hair color will be different, or it'll be longer or shorter. I'll change heights. But for the most part, I look about the same. A lot of the times I'll look into a crowd in a comic that I'm reading, and I'll see several people who I think are me at first, but upon closer inspection are not. There are plenty of people who look like me. But no, I know what I look like when I see myself. Just because somebody looks like me doesn't mean that they're me. Alright, see if you can find me.
I don't see you.
Right over there. This gentleman pointing.
You sure that's you?
Absolutely. Okay, can you find me here?
Is that you?
Yes.
Really?
And see, if you see here, I'm here as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the thing that validifies it for me, is when strangers, I can show them a comic and show them a page, and somebody will notice me immediately when I show them. So that way, a lot of people give me foul looks, but when I open a comic like right there, you genuinely recognized me, and that was the person. You didn't see me in the first comic, but you saw me in that one. So that's really cool.
Where do you live currently?
I live with my mother, I live with my family right now. I moved out when I was 18 for college, but once I had noticed that I was in a lot of these comics, I started purchasing them, and I spend too much money on comics every week, and I can't afford to pay for my own place.
Why do you have to have a comic book that you're in?
Because it's something that I'm proud of. It wouldn't. I mean, if you were in a movie, wouldn't you want a copy of that movie? Obviously, I think that answers itself. I'm very proud. I'm very proud that I'm featured in these books. So I like to have them around so I can point at them at any time that I was there. I was there.
So you actually remember being in these books?
I don't remember it. Here's what happens. When I open a comic and I see myself, I won't know it prior that I was there. But once I see myself, I remember everything. I remember being there. I remember whatever actions are going on in that comic, and then all those memories come flooding back. But before I see myself in that situation, no, I'm not. I don't recall it.
And that's not strange? You don't think that maybe you'd remember something as big as a super fight or something like that?
People forget their memories all the time. I like to think of memories as a muscle. If you don't exercise that memory, there's no real reason to use it. If you're not exercising a muscle, when you go to use it, it's just not gonna operate for you. So it's the same thing with these. Nobody I know is there when I see these superheroes fight, or when I'm there when Calamity strikes. So I don't really get to talk about it with anybody else. So a lot of times it'll happen, and I'll just forget about it until it's brought up again. I need it to be brought back to my attention. But the reason why I'm there is because these things happened. I just forgot about them. Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's not all fiction. It's for the most part truth, and I just happen to be there every single time. Something like that happens worth putting into a comic book.
Point. So that means you're in this book.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so show me.
I haven't gone through and organized this one yet. Wait, give me a second. Where am I? Oh, wait. Yeah, there I am, right here. See that?
Okay.
Ah.
Seems.
See, and you would have missed me if you just turned the page, but yeah, that's me right there. Awesome.
So, do you feel the publishers that make these books owe you any royalties? Would you ever consider pursuing legal action against them for using your likeness without your permission?
Of course not. I'm thankful for the most part that they'd let me be in these comics. There are thousands of people who love comic books and would kill to be featured in. And these artists depict me of all people, and then a sea of like nobodies. I'm honored. I'd never be disrespectful to these publishers.
Were you always a fan of comics or superheroes in general?
No. I was I was a big fan of the military for most of my childhood because my dad was in the military. It wasn't until I was 19 that I started getting into comics. And I mean, I don't really care about superheroes generally. I'm more into the fact that I'm there. Yeah.
Does it upset you that you're never the protagonist of any of these stories? Or at least that you don't have any significance?
No. Honestly, it feels good knowing that there's more going on than just me.